Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the 14th session of Club Excel. Hope you're all doing good. Let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about just a few more seconds left. Sorry. I'm just going to wait for a few more seconds. We'll start on time. I'll wait for a few more people to join in. And yeah, that is our time. Let's get started. So today we're going to do something that someone from our team came and asked me the other day. So I thought, why not? Let's just make this into a session and have Erwin from the inventory team, I think, inventory pricing team, came in and checked with me something. And that was his query was that I want to show, I have a dashboard. He had a really good looking dashboard, but he wanted to show the data appearing on the map. And so we thought we'll make it into a session. So today we're going to do that. But before we do that, we're just going to check everybody knows what to do. You know to raise your hands on your Zoom toolbar. Just raise your hands, please. Keep it raised. Angela, I know there are no emails, no sample files this time around. I'll answer that in a bit. Everybody, please raise your hands. Raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands. I have 70 people, 70% people who have raised their hands. Come on, everyone can do it. Do not put your hands down. Keep it raised, keep it raised. I don't want the number to go down. I want it to go higher. Okay, I lower the hands myself. Thank you very much. Now, to answer to Angela that no files were sent. Yes, no files were sent. However, I just updated your, if you look at your Outlook calendar, I have attached two image files on it. If you can please download them and save them. Angela, if you've understood what I was trying to say, you can please let me know in the question bar. Just let me know that you have found those files and you've downloaded them. Again, just to repeat, please go on to your Excel invitation on your Outlook calendar. There will be two files that I've updated at 45 minutes ago today, and you should be able to download them and save them on your computer. So Angela, if you've done that, could you please respond and let me know on the question bar? We'll go forward. So everyone can see my screen. Please raise your hands if you can see my screen. Okay, so all right. All right, let me just check. As Angela has not received the email files, I'll open up the thing and recheck again. Now this is everyone, this is your email that was registered. These are the two files that I've attached. If you haven't seen them, please open up your Outlook. They're attached. I have even updated it here. This was done today 45 minutes ago. So if you have not received them, I would suggest you shut down your Outlook, reopen it. And yes, Angela has finally got it. Thank you. Let's get started. Now, if you are unable to hear me, that's because I can't, well, even if I say it, they won't be able to hear it. This is for those people who are unable to hear me. All right, Club Excel, for those people who are new, this is a bite-sized club training, Club Excel training, sorry, Excel training. We pick up one or two things and we just focus on them for this month, and it gives you time to digest it and focus on it. These sessions are recorded for later reference. I'll show you at the end of the session where they are. Well, we want to make sure that you understand Excel foundations, the formatting, basic formulas, and start before we move on to this session. If you do not have an intermediate level understanding of these things, I would recommend you leave this session now. Go and do the foundation ones on SharePoint. I will share that link again after this session on email, and do those, come back, and you should be able to follow this easily. Otherwise, just stick around. We'll try to make it as easy as possible. So today, data on a map. And what do I mean by that? I will show you the end result. Here I have an Excel. I have this Australian map. I have these cities: Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide. Let's say these are sale numbers right here. And I'm going to change these numbers. Just have a look at them. See that? The bubbles keep changing according to the size of the sale. And this is what we are going to do today. Everybody happy with that? Please raise your hands. And let me know if you're okay with this. It's just something that might come in handy. We are going to do this on Asia Pacific map as well as the Australian map, just to do a few examples of it. And hopefully we'll get that sorted. Now, how I created the map is another story. We can do that if we have time towards the end of the session. But first off, please download and save those two files on your computer. You will be needing them. And now, if you can open up your Excel, please, and a blank Excel file, just open up a blank Excel file on the side. So today, we are going to do, how do we do this? We do it in 4 steps. Step number 1, we will insert a bubble chart. Step number 2, we'll create a map on that bubble chart. Step number 3, we will attach the data to that map. And step number 4, we'll fix the axis, which is a tiny bit, not confusing, but takes a little bit of concentration. And I promise you, just give me that little bit of high concentration at that point in time and you'll be able to do it. It's only, the beauty is that this is only one-time thing. You don't have to redo it again and again. Once you do it, it's fixed, and then your sales data can change and everything will get updated as I showed you before. So everyone, please open up your Excel file, a brand new sheet, 0 meetup. Let's get started, okay? So first off, now, when I do things, I get confused by these checks. So again, it's not mandatory. If you can please go into view and switch off your grid lines. So what that does is it removes those grid lines, and now I'm less confused. Well, call me OCD or whatever, but that's just the way I work. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to first think about what you're going to do. So let's see if you want to have these cities. We will include main cities. Let's say Sydney. Start with that. Then we'll have Melbourne. Let's have Brisbane. So we'll start with Australia, then we'll move on to the Asia Pacific. We'll include more countries, but for now, Sydney, Melbourne, let's say Perth, and final one, Adelaide. So let's have these 5 cities written up there. And now what I want you to do is I want you to put the heading of this city, of this column. Another heading, I want you to put X, I want you to put Y, and then I want you to put Z. Okay, so city, X, Y, and Z are 4 headings. I want you to make them bold and center if you want to. These are the cities. I want X, Y, and Z. And let's get started. Now, I want you to insert, come on to the charts, come on to charts. You see this bubble chart? Just click here and select the bubble chart. Okay. Now, those of you who are unable to see it, or rather, those of you who are with me so far, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. So now we have an empty chart, which is a bubble chart, empty, nothing in it. Okay, this is so step number 1 is you have the chart, you're done with step number 1. It's as easy as that. Step number 2 is where you are going to click on this. Click on the chart. You see the chart design tab upstairs. Now here you will select the data. Okay. Before we do that, let's fill in the data. Don't do anything. Just fill in the data. Now, please repeat after me. Just put random 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards. Just put 1 to 5 here and 1 to 5 here on X and Y. Okay. And here I want you to put in again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Z as well. So X, Y, and Z, you need to have these numbers written on them. These are random numbers. They don't mean anything as yet. So you can do whatever you want, but I usually like it this way. So now you have this, you have the bubble chart. Now step number 2, we're going to link this. So first off, you're going to click on the chart, go into chart design, and you'll select data. Select data. You have this box open up. You will click on add. City's name, you can call it, just write sales or whatever you want to call it. You don't need to select anything. Select X values, series X values, click here please, and drag and select all these X numbers, all of them. Come on to Y, delete this please, delete whatever is written there. It's important that you delete it. And then you select the Y numbers, all of them, drag and select all of them. Repeat, delete this please, and select all the Z numbers. Press OK. You should get a chart like this. Everybody with me so far, please raise your hands. Okay. All right, I'll flip the question. I will flip the question. Anybody who's not understood this and want me to repeat it, please raise your hands. Okay, I will repeat it. Now, those of you who are with me, please stay there. I will delete it and I'll start from the top. So what I've done is I've done 1 to 5, 5 to 1, and 1 to 5, and I've just named it Z. You can call it sales, or you can keep it as Z. So Z values, Ian, will not appear on the chart. That's okay, because X and Y do. It's not a 3D chart, that's why. Okay, so we have X, Y, and sales. We will go into insert. Just click outside of this data, insert, check bubble chart. It's a clean, empty bubble chart. You will now click on it, go into chart design, select data. In select data, you will click add. Series name, you can call it sales, whatever you want to call it. X values, you will click and drag all X values in it. Y values, you will first delete it and select all Y values. Now this does not say Z values, but this is the last one, okay? So you will delete it and you will select the Z values or the sales values here. Okay, done, press okay. Ian, if you're good with that, just drop me a message on questions and we are going to go ahead. Now you have this bar chart, you have this bubble chart, and you have this data. Now comes the time when you need to put in the map. Okay, everybody with me? Just click on the chart, please. Go into format, go into shape fill. And here you can put the background of the chart. You can put a different color, but I want you to go down and select picture from a file. Now head towards wherever you have saved those two maps and select the AU map, please. Now there you have it. You have an AU map stretched up, not looking so good. We'll make it look better. But for those of you who were unable to do it, I will just repeat the whole process. I have this bubble chart. I will select this chart, go onto shape fill, picture from a file, and select the AU map. You have the AU map on it. Now I want you to drag from the bottom, make it a little, there you go. It looks more like an Australian map now. Perfect. Now you have done most of the steps and now comes the final step. So we have, these are the sales numbers. This is the X is this. So this is X axis. Y is this is the Y axis. So we're now going to fix the X axis and the Y axis. Okay, now if you notice, Alan, would you like to elaborate your question? I'm unable to understand that question. Thank you. Now, if you notice, I've put these red dots for you on the map itself. So you see these orange dots right here. So this is Perth, this is Adelaide, this is Melbourne somewhere here, Sydney and Brisbane. So we need to match these dots to them. But before that, we need to fix our axis. So if you can please click on the axis. This axis, click until you have selected just this part. Right click on it. So it takes a little bit of, yeah, right click on it and click format axis. Here, I want you to put 0 and here I want you to put 10. Okay, Once you're done with that, it changes a little bit. Then I want you to go on the y-axis, right click, format axis, do the same thing, 0 and 10. So basically what we have done is we have given us a 10 star rating here and a 10 scale here and a 10 scale here. You might have to do that again because as you can see, it's changed. So I'll just quickly do it. Now here you go. It's fixed now. So 0 to 10 and 0 to 10, we have everything here. We have the Australia map looking good. Now all we need to do is plot these cities up on here. So let's take Sydney for one. Start with Brisbane. Brisbane is right here. Now if you notice on x-axis, Brisbane is 8.3, 8.3-ish. No, if this is 9, 8.5. Let's say 8.5. Brisbane is 8.5 on the x-axis. So we'll come on to Brisbane right here, Brisbane. We will do x-axis. I will change this to 8.5. You see the dot has moved. Now I want this dot to move upwards on the x-axis. So I'll do a 5. There you go. Now it's on Brisbane. You see that? Now this dot is come onto Brisbane. Okay. Now let's see. Let's fix Sydney up. We are on Sydney now. So Sydney, we want to do, Sydney is right here. So Sydney is 8.3 and Sydney is 2.5. Let's say, okay, we'll play around with it. So 8.3 and 2.5. There you go. Bang on. Sydney has been covered by this dot. We're going to do Melbourne now. Let's move on to Melbourne. Melbourne is, let's see, this is Melbourne right here. See this dot? We'll call this 7 and we will call this 1. So 7 and 1. Let's see how it goes. 7 and 1. There you go. So it's covered Melbourne. Let's do the same with Perth now. Perth is, we'll call it very close to 2. So it's 1.8. 1.8 on the x-axis and a little bit higher. So it needs to go a little bit higher. So we'll call it 2.8. Okay, there you have it. Now Perth is done. Let's fix this one on Adelaide. So this one is around very close to 6. So 5.8 and 2.2. Let's go with 5.8 and 2.2. There you go. Right. Everybody with me so far, please raise your hands. Good. That's quite a lot of people. Excellent. Fast learners you guys are. Now, all I need to do now is 2 things. One, I need to select these lines and delete them. And I can now adjust my sales numbers. I can attach my sales numbers. So for example, somewhere else, my sales numbers were, in figures. I'm just going to put in random figures. Okay. These were my sales numbers for these cities. So all I need to do is connect these to your actual data. Now watch. That's it. So if my sales numbers change, let's say Melbourne started doing really well and they hit 8,000, just watch. So Melbourne remains bigger and it's relative to everything else. Let's say Sydney did not do so well. It went down to 200. Look at that. Sydney 1 went down. And let's say everybody went down. Just showing you what the result is. If I make this like this, see Melbourne's doing well, and then we can include this. There you go. Now Sydney is doing well, and so on and so forth. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, your map. Are we ready to go and do it on the Asia Pacific map, everyone? Okay, now look, if you haven't gotten it, don't worry about it because we're going to do it again on the Asia Pacific map. And I would recommend just this time around, just watch me do it. Do not do it yourself. And then later on, you can put up this video and watch it again and do it with me. Okay. So again, let's do it together. For those who have gotten it, for those who have slight bit of problem, don't worry about it. I will start off fresh. Just have a look at it. This is my sheet. I like to remove the grid lines. Then I have these, I need to make sure what do I have. So I'll start with Singapore, Shout out to all the people joining in from Singapore. We have Jakarta. So I'm taking the cities. I'll take Sydney. I'll take Auckland. I will take my favorite New Zealand city, Christchurch. Okay, and then I have one more city. I'll take Brisbane. Okay. All right, so I have these cities. First thing I do is put a heading, city. I will put X, Y, and sales or profit or whatever you want to put it. This is my headings. I will make them bold, highlight, and centralized. So these are my headings. These are my cities. Now, easy. I just want to put in random numbers. I usually like to go in this sequence. Okay, and then I go in reverse. 6, and then I can put again simple numbers here. So this is a simple exercise. You click outside, insert, you go into a chart, bubble chart. You will select this chart. It's a blank chart, which is fine. Then you need to attach it to this one. So we'll attach this chart to this. We'll click on the chart, select data, add, series name. We can give it our own name, sales. We can say X values. We'll select, drop and drag this. We will delete anything written on Y values and drop and select this. We'll delete here. And this is considered as the last one. Once you have it, you will have the dots on it. Press OK twice. You're done. Now, before we put the picture, let's do the axis first. Or let's try clicking on the axis, right click, format axis. I will make this 0. If it's 0, still do it so that it stays there. And 10. See this? Now, again, I will do it on the y-axis, format axis. I'll make this 0 and I'll make this 10. There you go. So I have a 10 on 10 axis, both of them. Now I will try to bring in the image. I will click on the chart. I'll go into format, shape fill, picture from a file, bring in the APAC, make it look nicer by dragging it. Now it looks like in proportion. So now I have this, I'll make it bigger. So if you want to make anything bigger without moving without creating disproportionate stuff, just do it from the sides and it will not make it fatter or thinner. Okay, so now I have this chart, I have the bubbles. This is an exciting stuff for me. So Singapore is right here. You can see this, Singapore. What is the x-axis? It's 1.6, somewhere around 1.6. And on the y-axis, it's about 8.8. Okay, so Singapore, we'll put in 1.6 and 8.8. See the dot is moving. It's gone further up. We don't want it further up. 8.4 is better. There you go. Now it's on the dot. Jakarta is right here. So Jakarta would be 1.8 and 7.4. So 1.8, 7.4. There you go, right on top of it. Now we want to go into Sydney. Sydney is right here. This is Sydney. So it's 6.5 and 3.4. So 6.5 and 3.4. So Sydney's done. Now let's look at Auckland. Auckland is right here, North Island. It's 8.9 and 2.9, 8.9, 2.9. Okay, and you can play around with it, to get it better, the best possible one. Slightly down, I want to move it slightly up. So maybe I just want to make it 3. See that? Now, little corrections here and there can help you. Now comes Christchurch. Christchurch is 8.7. Let's call it 8.7 here, and it's on 2. So 8.7 and 2. And 2 right here. There you go. Christchurch is done. Last one, Brisbane. Brisbane is right here. So Brisbane is this one. So on this axis, it's 6.8 and that's 4.5. So 6.8, 4.5. 4.5. There you go. Brisbane is set. Now your Asia Pacific range is set. Whatever your sales numbers are, you can connect it to it now. Let's say I'm just going to put in sales numbers, different sales numbers, and they will change. Okay, so if this one is 2, there you go, it keeps changing. Now the final step is select these and delete, select again and delete. You have a nice, clean, good looking chart, which can be present on the dashboard. You keep changing the numbers and it'll keep changing the data for you. Okay, so let's say I'll give a very obnoxiously large number to Brisbane. See, all the other dots will go smaller, Brisbane's will go larger. See that? All the other dots have gone really small and Brisbane's has gone larger. I'm gonna bring it back in sequence. Nothing changes, everything is set. It's all changing as you change the numbers. This you can select and attach it, link it to the real data, and this can keep you updated. Now, there are 2 more things that I want to talk about. The first one is, let's say you want to give a different color to the different city. So I want to give maroon to Christchurch. I will select this once. All of them are selected. I will select it again. Just Christchurch circle is selected, the bubble. I will now go into format and change it to red with the bucket. You see that? Now it's become, I do want it to be slightly transparent. You see that? You can see the outline. I want it to be slightly transparent. I will go into shape fill. I'll go into more fill colors. See this transparency? I will reduce it. So let's say 42%. And there you go. So my Christchurch color is red. If I change Christchurch sales to bigger number, you see that? It just keeps making it. There you go. So Christchurch number is become red. You can repeat it and you can do it for everyone. Let's say I want to do Sydney. Select once, select twice, 2 times. Remember, otherwise it'll select all of them. You go into format, take the bucket, change the bucket to this color, whichever color you feel like it. And then you go again, you go into more fill colors, bring it to 40, around 40%. There you go. So you have Sydney in aqua blue and Christchurch in red. Now you have your numbers. Every time the sales change, you can show it, display your numbers with this. How is everybody doing so far? Please raise your hands. Ian, I will show you how to bring in the picture. Just let me ask this question and then I'll take it forward. All right, everybody good with this? Okay, one more time. Now I've lowered everyone's hands. I've lowered everyone's hands. My question is, anybody would like me to repeat the whole process one more time? Okay, all right, okay, let's do this. So Ian, I'm repeating it for everyone else's purpose. You can have a look at your stuff as well, how to bring in the picture. I will have my cities. So I'll just quickly take in Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne. Okay, sorry, Melbourne probably goes into lockdown too much, so I'll just take Adelaide. Okay, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and I'll take the x-axis, the y-axis, and the sales, or whatever you want. I will put in 1, 2, 3. I will put in reverse 1, 2, and 3. I will put again 1, 2, and 3. Why do I do this? Just to get some things on the chart. I'll make it centralized and put the headings here. Now I will go into insert. I will put in a bubble chart right here. Bring in this bubble chart. This one, it has nothing on it now. We'll connect it to this one. I will click chart design, select data, add. I'll give it a name, sales. I'll bring in the X values right here, these 3. I will, please remember to delete it first and bring this, delete it, and then bring the sales numbers. Once I have this, it's showing on, there you go. I'll then fix the axis. I'll right click on the axis and I will make this 0. Even if it says 0, just repeat it because then it doesn't change it after. Similarly, I will change this format axis to 0. and 10. So I'm getting a 10 by 10. Done. This is all done. Now I will bring in the picture. Ian, please note, I will select this. I will go into format. I will go into shape fill, the bucket. And here I will select the picture. I have these options. I'll say from the file. I already have this saved somewhere in my computer. I'll select the picture and there you have it. Now I want to fix it. If I do it from here, the ratio does not change. If I do it from these four sides, I can make it thicker and taller. So now it looks more like Australia and I have everything that I need. All I need now is to fix these X and Y numbers to get it. Sydney is right here on the X-axis. It'll be Sydney is here. So 8.5, let's say 8.3, and this is 3.5. So 8.3 and 3.5. I will change this to 8.3 and 3.5. You can see the dot moving. It's a little higher now. I want to make it 3.4. That's perfect. Okay. I want to do Brisbane is right here. So 8.5 and 5.6. Let's do this. 8.5 and 5.6. A little bit higher, 5.7 maybe. Yeah, perfect. Looks good. I want Adelaide here. This is Adelaide right here. And let's see, what is Adelaide? It's 4.8 and 3.2. 4.8 and 3.2. There you go. Nope, it has to be more. It has to be 5.2. This one, 5.8, sorry, 5.8. There you go. Have the three numbers. So now I have Brisbane, Adelaide, and Sydney. And now I can change these sales numbers to actuals, whatever they are, and you can link them to it. I will now, last step, delete these grid lines, and I have this. Now, you will like to, some of us would like to remove this or hide it. Do not hide it, because the moment you hide it, it goes away from the chart. So please do not hide it. What I usually like to do is just make it tiny, just so that it goes out of the picture, and that's it. You can now have your sales figures on your dashboard looking like this. Okay, now, would you be interested in how I created these maps on PowerPoint? Please raise your hands and let me know. I would be happy to show it to you. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bring up PowerPoint. I'm gonna start off a PowerPoint and just show you how I did it. A blank PowerPoint. You don't have to do it. Just stay with me, and it'll be much more easier if you just view it and then maybe practice it later once I send you the video. So I will bring the PowerPoint on your screen now. This is a blank PowerPoint. Then I will open up Google Chrome right here. So I have Google Chrome. I will say, let's say I want a map of New Zealand. So I will say New Zealand on Google. This is Google. New Zealand, I will say map, PNG. PNG files are the transparent files. So I'll go map New Zealand, PNG. This is great. I will go into images. I'll pick and choose my images. I'll probably go with this one. This one looks nicer, or this one maybe. But there's one more thing. I want to go into tools, size, large. I want to get a high resolution one. So now that one is gone. I have these. Perfect. I will pick this one. Great. I'll pick this one. Now for other purposes, just to explain something else, let me just pick one. So copy it, come back to your PowerPoint that you created, blank slide. I will paste this, Control V. Now I have this. Now let's say I want to remove this icon, facts.co. Yeah. So if you want to remove this, what do I want to do? It's very, very simple. You go into shapes. You see this weird looking shape. You pick this up. You click and click and click and click and click and cover this up and come back to it until it becomes this. Then you color it white and you outline it white. It's gone, but it's not matching the background color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this background color also. So I'm basically going to remove it. So for that, just select this image, go into format picture, go into color, select this second last part, select transparent color. Again, I'm going a little faster, but you can always watch it again and come back. I'll just click on the gray color. It's gone. Everything's gone. The logo is gone. Everything is gone. Now there's a one important step that I want to do. I just want to select everything, including that thing, because you see, if I remove it, it's covering that part. So what I want to do is I want to select everything. I'm going to group it. So now it's grouped together. I'll decrease the size a little bit. So see, the aspect is changing. Now, if I don't want the aspect to change, I'll press shift while I'm decreasing it. If I press shift, the aspect does not change. So I'll make it slightly shorter, smaller. And what I'll do is I'll place a square around it. A square around it. It's very important. I will send it to back. Now I have this and this. I'll change the square into white. Now the square is important because when you're putting the graph, it requires a little bit of border around it. So now I have these things. I will select all of them. See, I'll select all of them and I will group them again. Now I can save this as an image. Okay, I will do NZ, session number 14. So I know I'll save it. Now my map is saved. I will go back into our map. Let's say this was Auckland. And this was, let me start from top. So I have Auckland, Christchurch, and Wellington. And I will do X, Y, and Z quickly. One, two, and three. And again, 1, 2, and 3. I will go into insert. I will go into bubble map, bubble. Now it's still trying to select this, but what I should be doing is I should select, not have my selection here. I should select elsewhere and do insert bubble map. Okay, wrong map. Bubble chart right here, this one. Now I need to connect it with this. I'll select the data, add sales, X value, select it, delete this first, Y value selected, delete it first, Z value selected. You have the 3 bubbles. There you go. Okay, now I want to do the axis. Right click on the axis, format axis, put a 0, put a 10. Again, repeat for this one, format axis, 0 and 10. Easy. Now you have your stuff. You can bring in the New Zealand map now. And how do I do it? Click here, format, do the bucket, picture from a file. I have the map saved. New Zealand map is done. Now I want to fix it. Auckland is somewhere here. So it looks like it's 5.5 and 8.5. So 5.5 and 8.5. See the dot moving at the bottom? There you go. Auckland is done. Christchurch is somewhere here, which is 5, and I'll say 3.5. So 5 and 3.5. Now, Wellington would be somewhere here. So I will just say, please, I apologize if I'm getting it wrong. I think it's somewhere here. So 5.5 and 4.8. 5.5 and 4.8. I know it's in the South Island, very close to the North Island. So here you go. This is it. Now I can remove last step. Just remove these lines, just select them and remove them. That's it. You're done. Good to go. I change the numbers and say 23, 34, whatever. And there you go. It's changing. Right. So now we have the shortcut of the month now. Everyone happy with what we did so far? Please raise your hands. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, shortcut of the month. As you know, every month we give you a shortcut in terms of what is the shortcut to in Excel. Today we have something called Alt plus F1. Alt plus F1 inserts a chart on your Excel. I will show it to you. Here you go. I have a brand new sheet. I want to insert a chart. So instead of going here and here and here, I can just say Alter plus F1 together, and my chart is here. I can change the chart type from here and put it as bubble chart right here. Okay, done. So Alter F1 is your shortcut of the month to create a chart. In closing, we have done these 4 simple steps to insert a bubble chart as your dashboard. I do not have any further questions. The shortcut of the month is Alter F4. Just one more thing that we need to do. There is a survey which I have launched. And right now, it'll help us know how we did today. If you found this useful and you might want to use it, it looks good, and you can further make it better. You can do it on any regions, anything, any map, anything at all. Even if you have, let's say, a province and you want to put your cities up there, you want to put the region managers, the reps up there, you can do that, and it's just a one-time effort. And we've done 3 of them in the last 40 minutes, so it's somewhat more visually appealing. We do have our HR page on SharePoint. So if you go on to SharePoint, we have the HR going to L&D, and on the top you will see Club Excel right here. We have all of our previous videos lying here, all of the sessions. We will upload this session here as well, and I will send you the link once it's recorded, once it's done, because it takes some time to process it as well. All right, that's it. Thank you very much, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and see you soon. Goodbye.